Hello? Oh, I lost the music. Hello! I've been excited for this one for a while. It's another one, much like the Venice one I did yesterday. That went up today, that I did yesterday, and now I'm doing today's for tomorrow because I'm behind on videos. I've kind of left this one for quite a while, thinking it might be quite a long one with a lot of reading. But I've been very excited by it. It's called Ambition, if you can't read that fancy font. Ambition. And it's playing on words here. We've got a minute in power, but it's a minuet in power as well, because obviously it's about these upper class people in France and these balls and galas that they have. And we're going to be manipulating our way to the top is what I understand. So this should be pretty funny. Yvette's story. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of reading. I apologize. If that's not your thing, you might want to skip this one, but I had to play it. The carriage rumbles and bounces along the cobbles as you approach Paris. It's taken over a week to get here, even carrying just yourself and your luggage. Your fiancé, Armand, arranged for the carriage to take you from your small village to a tavern he enjoys called the Orphan's Feast. There he'll meet up with you, you'll likely take dinner together, and then he'll show you to your new home in Paris. Wonderful. Right, we're going to be making some decisions. These are big decisions. But now, though, you've already finished all of your books, and Armand's letter is your only entertainment, other than staring out of the window. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're taking in the sights, read the letter again, or... But we don't want to be a total douchebag to the guy. That one's out, right? We're not going to be... We can be fancy. Oh, look, we've got English pounds for some reason. Oh, you can't see it, but... 1 second. God damn, here we go. I can't move it. Hey, look, English pounds. There we go. Done. I've got 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got to move 8 pixels over. That's how you do it in design. Okay. Well, now you've already finished your books. Yeah. So let's say reading the letter one more time. Maybe we'll learn something else. I don't know. Checking in the sites would be nice though. You have read the brief letter over 100 times. Okay, we definitely didn't need to do that. But you always found new details to puzzle over. Armand's letters were often extremely long, a habit you'd frequently tease him for in your own missives. Chérie Yvette, I know it may be sudden, but I want to invite you to live with me in Paris. In Paris. Back in your provincial hometown, you were engaged to Armand before he moved north to Paris to participate in the Estates General. He dreamed of changing the country, and this was the political event of the century. You mailed love letters soaked in perfume. He replied with volumes about how much he misses you. The romance of it all helped make up for the inconvenience. Not that your parents cared much about the romance. At first, you'd been afraid to tell them their youngest daughter wanted to move far away. Instead, they nearly threw you onto the carriage to follow Armand to Paris. While you understood the significant benefits for your common family would receive from your marriage into a noble one, you couldn't help but be a little annoyed at their eagerness to see you off. I feel the same way with my parents. For 18 years, though, they're like, get out of the house. The second you're 18, you're out of here. Mostly as a joke, honestly, but they were like, that's what they said. And then the second I left, they're just like, please come back and visit. And then I decided to move across the world. So, oh dear. I can't wait for you to see it. It's unlike anything back home, a truly vital place where anyone can be anything. Je t'embrasse? I don't know. To me, that sounds like, if I were reading that in Spanish, it looks like, I can't even, it looks like it says, I'm gonna impregnate you. Like, embarazada, like in Spanish, like to pregnant. So, je te is like to you. Embrace, and that's oh, embrace. To hold it. Okay, that's a little bit more PG. Armand, that was something you were looking forward to, a chance to be something more. After all, Baroness Yvette de Marbo has a certain ring to it. Coachman, can we pick up the place? We might as well take in the sights. We don't want to be a dick. He's doing what he's doing. You crane your neck out the window to peer at Paris. It's even more than you imagine. The streets are a riot of colour and energy as people go about their days. Elegant persons of fashion strut like brilliant peacocks. Students stumble under the weight of their books. Beggars alternate between pleading for alms and shouting invectives at passers-by. Everything feels significant, like the world's next act hinges on all of their choices. Though part of you is worried by your unfamiliar surroundings, you mostly feel excited. This place is to be the stage for your new life. Before you know it, the carriage starts slowing down. You must be here. Armand arranged to meet you at the tavern named the Orphan's Feast. As tired and rumpled as you are, so one word, you're glad that he planned to meet you in a place with ample food and wine. Haha, I like this girl. Alright. That's what I'm talking about. When you arrive, the coachman helps you out of the carriage and you find yourself outside a glowing, friendly tavern. The sign shows a grubby-looking child holding a plate piled with fresh bread and roasted meats. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Oh! Okay, I thought we were going to be the person. Oh, that's the barmaid. Inside, a woman polishing a lantern looks at you as you enter, and her face breaks into a bright smile. I don't think barmaids used to also wear these giant butt dresses, right? Like, these dresses that make you look like you have an enormous ass, or you look like you look like a snail, like you've got like a shell on the back of you. Surely barmaids didn't wear them. Also, like that, they were just. I thought it was just for noble people. I don't know. And she's wearing like a sack of flour on her head or something tied to her head. God knows what this is. People have the weirdest sense of fashion. Her face breaks into a bright smile. Bonjour, madam, and welcome to the Orphan's Feast. Her eyes linger expectantly on the door for a moment before settling on you. You suddenly remembered how rare it is for a woman to travel by themselves. How may I be of service? Okay, first time here. Oh, we need the tutorial. It says, help me find my fiancé. So we need the tutorial. Don't worry while the rest of the city can be rather cutthroat. The Orphan's Feast is a relaxed place for getting your feet under you. The woman puts down the lantern she was polishing. She favors you with a devious smile. Find guests worth talking to and try to say the right things to the right people. You'll never have time to talk to everyone, so try using your time wisely. Ah, okay. I'm sure that if you ask around, you'll be able to find your fiancé in no time. She puts it that way. It sounds so easy. That's interesting, though. We have to make sure we're not continuing a conversation we don't think is going to lead anywhere, just for the heck of it. While you only have one outfit to your name at the moment, the Orphan's Feast does feel like a particularly judgmental place in terms of fashion. Your credibility won't be shifted by what you're wearing here. As long as you explore the tavern and talk to people, you should be able to find Armand soon enough. Okay. Okay, we've got this top-down view. Well, we've already spoke. We only have 2 turns left, so we should speak to each of these, I think. Now, here's the thing. This might sound crazy, but this door is open, and this one is not. So I feel like we should go speak to this person first, as if it's a public place, and not barge in on this guy. I don't know if that matters, but it could do. Pick conversation. While you search around, a handsome young man approaches you. Perhaps he'll be able to help. 0 to 5 peril, 5 to 10 credibility. Okay. So we want credibility and less peril. You look around the unfamiliar tavern, trying to find Armand. Your eyes scan for his chestnut hair. Your ears strain to hear the sound of his infectious laugh. You know, I was doing the thumbnails for these videos, and I got a hazel color, and I always thought hazel was brown, as in hazelnut, but it's not. It's like a weird yellow color. It super threw me off. Chestnut hair is a nice brown, not hazel. Hazel is like a weird yellow. Someone clears their throat behind you. You turn around to find yourself face to face with an unfamiliar young man. He's way too much blush on, bro. He's well dressed and handsome. Handsome enough. But it's the middle of the day and he already smells like 2 bottles of wine. That's the attaboy. Pardonnez-moi, madame. I can never ignore the sight of a woman in need, and you appear to be lost. May I escort you? His smile is broad and cocky. Yes, we're going to mention our... Oh, it tells us what we win from this. Which is a little weird. It's a little weird because obviously now we can kind of just guide things over this way instead. Depending, but we're going to go with what we were going to go with anyway. I'm so glad we want to say, thanks for helping. Can you help me find my fiance, right? So you're like, you know, this isn't going to be... This, between us, this isn't happening. Oh, that is something I offered to help you do. The man grimaces and begrudgingly holds out his arm. You take it happily as he conducts you about the tavern, visiting all the places that you suspect Armand might be. A few of the patrons smirk at your clever ploy. Credibility up. However, after a few minutes searching the tavern, it starts to become clear that Armand is nowhere to be found. I believe this is where we part ways. Your newfound guide says gently pulling away from you. I think it is. What's happened to being unable to refuse a woman in need? Do we want to be addicted to this guy just to make him uncomfortable? I feel like we should, just for fun. Let's make him super uncomfortable. I have escorted you up and down. You have sought your arm to no avail. I have done my duty, he says simply and shrugs. Now, if you excuse me, I must return to my compatriots. He walks away to rejoin his friends, who appear to be even deeper into the wine than he is. Oh, that was fun, though, just to bug him, basically. Limited amount of turns to talk. So, we can talk to these two. This seems good. Live music in these taverns, look at that. Wait. If I click pick conversation, I can't, like, choose which one to talk to. It's just, it's her. It's her or nothing. Weird. Okay. Now that you're more acclimated to the guests and travelers of the office feast, you should be able to find someone that can lead you to Armand. Here we go. We don't really have a choice anyway. We've got to speak to her. After hours of questioning and searching, it's late in the evening and you've still yet to find Armand. You're not even sure why, but you feel exhausted. Surely you'd, like, look around a couple of tables and be like, yeah, he's not here yet. That's it, right? Super weird. Imagine, you know, back before mobile phones, kids, that's what it was like. Hey, meet you here at this time, and if you went and that person just wasn't there, then there's no way to tell them, hey, I'm here waiting for you, or did I get the wrong place, or anything. It's just, that's it. That's it. You're done. You just gotta wait and hope. After hours of questioning and searching, it's late in the evening, you're still yet to find Armand. Not even sure why, but you feel exhausted. Who knew talking to people was such hard work? Me. Definitely. Now that you're warmed up, this may be your chance to finally find out where Armand is. Approach woman who's been spotted glancing your way earlier. Okay. The Baron de Marbo. Yeah, we got it. Baron de Marbo, yeah. At the mention of Armand's full title, she laughs nervously. She makes small talk for a brief moment before excusing herself and disappearing into the crowd. The room appears to be emptying out. A gentleman you remember seeing earlier walks by. He might prove a little more useful. Monsieur, a moment of your time. Yeah, let's be real about this, right? You gotta be polite. He looks at you, glances up to the woman he spoke with earlier, then quickens his pace as he walks by. The room is emptying even faster now. You managed to get the attention of another woman. Excuse... She didn't even slow down before she leaves. What the hell? After a third person gives you the cold shoulder, you start to wonder what happened. Are you really that out of place? Is it something about Armand? What's going on here? Still, you check around the office feast one last time. There's no sign, not even an open tab with the tavern key. We've been trolled. After waiting around for a few hours, you leave the orphan's feast, dragging your small mountain of luggage behind you. After all, the coach was only hired to take you to the tavern. Armand may not have been waiting for you like he said he would, but you memorized his address from all the times you wrote it on your letters to him. Perfect. It's the middle of the night, but the streets are still teeming with life. The light from the windows and the street lamps sparkle like the stars. You're tired and your feet hurt. You can't help but smile. This is it. This is Paris. No matter what happens, you're still here. For a brief moment, you're not a country girl dragging luggage through the streets. You're the person you feel that you are. And you close your eyes alone. You're overseeing a grand salon, surrounded by poets, musicians, scientists, philosophers, and artists. You are elegant, sophisticated, and respected. What a dream. You're getting close to the address. Armand never described his living conditions much, but he's the son of a baron. His family was always well-to-do. He's like garbage, right? He's like he's the lowest rung on the ladder, and we're gonna find out he lives in squalor, especially compared to yours. You've spent a lot of time in that carriage wondering about the home you'd spend your new life in. Still, you didn't expect this. I clicked past one by accident, and there's no way to go back. That's kind of a problem with a game like this. You should be able to go back to the previous thing for sure. Maybe not, to a decision, but definitely to the previous thing. Oh, bonsoir. I assume you must be Madame Yvette. My name is Camille. Crappy place. I assume what she said was, oh my god, I can't believe I've moved here. This looks like junk. Monsieur Armand told me to expect you. The rats in there ate him, didn't they? Please take me to Armand. I was hoping he was with you. I haven't seen him in days. Oh, thank you. Do you think he's alright? I'm sure he's fine, madam. A tone of voice that doesn't really fill you with confidence. Okay. We still have a house, and it's still massive. It might just be a bit run down. Her face. Glancing around, Camille seems to notice your mountain of luggage for the first time. Mon Dieu, madame, do you carry this all yourself? You must be exhausted. She's not wrong. You're not certain how you're still upright and awake right now. I've already made up your bed, madam. Please go inside and let me take care of this. I mean, there's garbage. Yeah, it might not be like the nicest place, but oh, I mean, look at this though. Look at the purple curtains on this 4-post bed. This huge. There's a fireplace in the bedroom. Come on, dude. This could be run down. This is still ridiculous though. You take your diary and leave heavy lifting to Camille. He's got made as well. One that we know of. The inside of the house isn't much better than the outside. Are you kidding? Are you actually joking? Didn't she come from like a farmhouse? She just like used to sleep in the stables with sheep or something, and this is not good enough for her. She can only do so much. Still, you don't care about that right now. You're just happy to have a roof over your head. Let's get some sleep. Flop down on a nearby couch. Okay. Open your diary and start to write. You're tired, disappointed, and perhaps abandoned, but writing things down always helps to make sense. Whew. We didn't lose any novel, but we did get 5 credibility. We'll take it. The 21st of March, 1789. I'm assuming Mars is March. It is in Spanish. Early the next morning, Camille approaches you, occasionally wringing her apron with her hands. She's obviously nervous. Madam, there's something you should know. Taking a deep breath. You're expected to attend a party the day after tomorrow, held by one Baron Maximin de Termes. I mean, Armand replied to the invitation, but you were to be his date. Splendid pie. Do you know anything about? Let's try and get some information on this guy, see what he likes. I'm sorry, but I don't know much. It would have been improper for me to pry into Monsieur Armand's affairs. Camille replies with a surprising earnestness. I like her, she's nice. All I know is that this Baron de Termes is a very outspoken political type, always going on about constitutions and natural law. Monsieur Armand attended a lot of his salons. Never really looked happy when he came back from them. I hope that helps, madam. Okay, let's see if a party to go to. We're not going to attack her for not telling us sooner. We were sleeping, for God's sake. Parfait. Isn't parfait a dessert? I don't know what that means. Is it like wonderful? If you need anything washed or prepared, just ask. Thank you, Camille. Maybe you should go wash yourself, because this is... What is this? What are these stains on here? That reminds me, Camille exclaims. If you're going to a party, you should probably make sure you're dressed appropriately. Fashion moves so quickly here that people retire outfits before they even wear out. As proclamation, you can't help but notice that Camille's uniform has been repaired many, many times. Monsieur Armand was always going through clothes so quickly. He said that every outfit had a certain amount of novelty. Every time you wore them to a party, the novelty would go down a bit. Interesting. In fact, so we even have to dress this character. Even a little thing like wearing the same thing twice in a row could run the novelty out faster. Can you imagine? Yeah. Fortunately, he knew the most delightful clothier on Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honor. She runs a shop called Le Petit Mogul. Okay. I'll draw you some directions. Immediately she starts sketching directions, mostly just simple renderings of local landmarks. Alright. Petit Mogul is now available to visit. Let's go. Head out today. You should be well prepared for tomorrow night. If you go out today, you're ready for tomorrow night. Jesus. This is the life that some people lead. Explore Paris. A new level of exhaustion by attending a party. We haven't attended one yet, though. Any levels of exhaustion that you have at the start of a party or rendezvous will give you a penalty to your credibility. Worry not, you'll discover ways to reduce it soon. Okay. Okay. But we're not going to the party now, right? I need to go explore Paris. What is this event? We will go, but yeah, Avril. Okay, yeah, so March. Let's go get to the Mogul or whatever. If you sneeze, if you ever sneezed in a party here, they'd take your clothes, leave you in your underwear, kick you outside, repossess your house. You were one of the slums now. You no sneezing in a fine fancy place like that. It's the end of your life. Let's go. Visit location. When do you figure out how this dress up works? It's a long walk to Rue de Faubourg, but the trek to the narrow street is worth it. Every block hums with vibrant energy, bursting with life. Porters and social climbers wind their way through the streets, festooned with brightly coloured parcels. Swimming, the city is swimming with fashion and finery, but this is the source. The street is home to all the major fashion houses. And to Rose Burton, personal dressmaker to the Queen herself. I guess we're going to have to work our way up to her. And now you're here, back home. They sigh and dream of place lies. Then quietly get back to their little lives. Not you, your circumstances may be less than ideal, but you're still here. The petite mogul, you mumble to yourself idly. Eventually you find a small booth. I always go through these stories and start like yawning like, oh, I'm not bored. It's just reading out loud is pretty tiring. Don't you feel? Eventually you find a small boutique tucked between some far grander buildings. You open the door. You know what? I think it's because every time I'm reading, I always let you like read before bed, and then you start to associate reading with sleeping. And I think that's a really bad thing. You've got to read during the day, or you start to have this you condition yourself to sleep when you're reading. You open the door and walk into the tiny shop, which seems even smaller due to how absolutely full it is. This isn't just a boutique, it's a workshop for whoever works here. Rolls of gorgeous fabric cover every available surface. A cloying smoke hangs in the air. The scent is pleasant, but wholly unfamiliar. As soon as the door swings shut behind you, you hear a sudden rustling of fabric further in the store. A customer, Hamdullah! A surprisingly young voice calls out. Hey! A witch. Bonjour, madam. Welcome to the little mogul. A woman, presumably the owner, calls out to you. Okay, I have an important party soon. I need to look amazing. Can you tell me about the outfits and fast fashion? Okay. Well, what about the smell, first of all? Her cheeks flush from my mouth. That's lucky incense. I light it on slow business days. Oh. Next one's my mother gave it to me. Oh, that's very nice. Well, I'm gonna ask for the tutorial. At these words, she looks giddy to the point of bursting. Chest plays of knowing smile. I think I can help with that. All right. This is us then, right? Belle. Select one of my lovely outfits to see. Oh my god! Oh, she was so lovely looking. What happened? Why have we ruined her? She looks so nice. What is this garbage? Oh, jeez. Well, we can't afford any of these besides these two. And this is less crown, less church, more military, bourgeois, and revolution. I think bourgeois and I think we won more revolution for this party because that guy was kind of a political person, he said. So let's do revolution as an enthusiast like that. Yeah, let's do that. Provincial outfit. Oh, look, she just looks like nice. Just like a normal in this provincial town. Yeah, she's just Belle. We'll purchase that. We'll confirm it. Spend some of your money. Livres. Used to buy outfits, pay servants, and more. Try and make sure you always have some on hand. I will from now on, but I really don't have that much. So leave shop. I thought I asked for a tutorial. It kind of just said, hey, you want to buy a dress? Wasn't much for tutorial. You awaken to the vision of sunlight filtering through the shutters, scattering. That was the day, by the way. That's the effort of the day. You go and you buy a dress. That's terribly exhausting. You awaken to the vision of sunlight, scattering sunbeams across his dusty bedroom. It takes a few minutes before you groggily remember the events that brought you here. You also remember that tonight you have a party to attend. Camille enters your bedroom without knocking. Fired. Madam, when would you like to start getting ready? I should start preparing now. It's all about the party. That's good to hear. These preparations always seem to take all day. On days where you have a party, you won't really have time to spend. Exploring Paris. Once you get to your wardrobe, we can get started. Don't worry, Camille. I'm already quite good at this. Oh no, we should tutorial again. Don't worry, a glamorous woman like yourself is sure to catch on quickly. Okay. Once again, no real tutorial. It just says click here to go. Oh, okay, here we go. Look, she's lovely. Why can't? I mean, this is like obviously like sleeping outfit, but I mean like, oh god, no. But look at that. And then boom, lovely little short hair with your little wrap at the back and your little spinny things, and then boom. What is this? Old grey hair. I'm familiar with that. Bunched up with some giant flower and a stupid little hat on top that, you know, is going to fall off all the time because it's on a fake wig. And then you've got this giant... I don't get these giant dresses. And you got covered in pink rings and this and this. Awful. awful, but we're going to have to go to it. -5 credibility because we're exhausted, but I don't think there's much we can do about that, so let's go. When your carriage drops you off at the party, you find yourself waiting in line for quite some time, looking at the other guests. You wonder if you're underdressed, overdressed. It's honestly hard to tell. We need to... Oh, God damn it, I clicked through again twice. Sometimes I click the mouse button twice by accident, and it's just a habit, and that's awful. So we got credibility for something, I guess, for dressing up and not just coming in garbage, but damn, that's annoying that you can't go back. In a visual novel kind of like this, that is unheard of, completely unforgivable. Like, you should always be able to go back and read what was before. The guests approve of your outfit and your credibility has increased. Preparation letters tonight should be a lively, positive affair. So basically, Armand is dead. He's gone. He's whatever, right? We need to make a name for ourselves now. So this is very important, this first party. While you're determining your standing in the world of fashion, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor while in line. Make a mental note of it just in case. What is it? You gained a piece of cheap revolution gossip that'll be useful later. Unfortunately, you can feel exhaustion setting. As soon as you think of the full itinerary ahead of you, tonight is going to be a long night. But we still have 7. Being exhausted gives you a credibility pen. Nothing we could do about that. We did sleep. Immediately upon entering the vestibule, you're greeted by a doorman holding a small ledger. While he isn't physically barring your entry, his manner certainly is. Let's say Baron, yeah. I want to say the Baron. Why are you dressed? Monthly. I see, you're the Baron's date. My apologies. Is there anything I can get you? Please convey my deepest gratitude. And I'm eager to meet him. A gift of wine is... Okay, so here's the thing. Is that really cheap? What if 10 is really cheap and these guys are spending thousands on wine or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, what if we come off as a fool? I'm gonna do it because I want to see, but I'm curious that this might actually backfire. Small flourish, you present a bottle of wine you had the forethought to bring earlier. It wasn't cheap, but the gesture is more important. Ah, merci beaucoup, madame. I shall make sure the Baron is aware of your generosity. Turning away from you, the doorman waves imperiously to another servant nearby, who takes the bottle from you. Afterwards, the servant dutifully scurries away. You have spent 10 livres. You hear some appreciative murmurs from the other guests in the vestibule. Your gratitude and enthusiasm seem to have made an impression on them, eliminating some of the tension in the air. Surprisingly, the doorman himself seems rather unfazed, because it happens a lot, right? So, credibility up, but peril down, was it? Okay. Lost a tiny amount of peril, but losing peril seems good. Before you ask any other questions, he bows deeply to you. But hold on, Madame Baron determines instructed me specifically to inform you as soon as you had arrived. We've heard so much about you. Okay. Enjoyed the party, he says with a smile before leaving. So still no idea where Armand is. Okay. Very clearly, this person over here on her own, not good enough. We should be going and speaking to groups maybe, right? I'm thinking we definitely speak to this couple because they already kind of know us and we need to get some credibility back up because they might start some rumors about us. I don't know how complex this credibility system and these interactions with the characters, like, I don't know how complex that is, but I'm trying to think as complex as possible, like, you know, in a real, if there's full interactions where these people speak behind your back and things like that, I'm going to try and save some face with this group. And then maybe we do speak to her, because maybe this is like the main guy's wife or somebody relevant to him. So like getting in good with her might also be good for us. We don't know who these are. We can't see beforehand, but we will go speak to this guy. 2 guests are clearly looking for someone else at this event. Apparently a new revolutionary figure has arisen in Paris. We're wearing a revolution dress. One that's winning quite a bit of favour among the more radical elements. In fact, you might be able to meet such a person later. In fact, we go to the party. Let's do this then. Standing by herself, fascinated by the host of the party. Yeah. She might not. Wait. -10 to 10. And that's Antoine Favre. Okay. And cheap church gossip. Ooh. A pair of gentlemen huddled together and speaking in low voices. Some scandalous event that took place in the countryside. Okay. So that's about losing credibility. I do think we should go speak to these 2. And then her. You spot two guests who are talking to each other but appear to be on the lookout for someone else. Every few moments their conversation breaks off. They can collectively glance around the room. Something about them feels tense. Is he even attending tonight? I have no idea, though. You should be able to spot him quite easily. Keep on the lookout for a remarkably handsome young man with charisma, a hatred for authority, and a penchant for extreme violence. The man replies a little too loudly while he pretends to sip from a glass of wine. The woman stares at her friend incredulously. How exactly does one spot a penchant for extreme violence? Examine the ways others treat him. If people keep their distance, that's your man. Let's jump in with some advice. Well, that's certainly a good start, the woman admits, and make some room for you in the conversation circle. Good way to slip in there. Are you looking for Monsieur Saint-Just as well? Well, you can answer. A friend interrupts. Of course she is. That maniac is the only person anyone here is talking about. Look at his face. He's not happy. A wry smile creeps across a woman's face. She pats her friend reassuringly on the arm. A maniac? Surely you're just exaggerating. I'm not. I'll concede that Saint-Just as a charismatic boy, that much is true. However, don't forget that he led a student revolution at his own university. He tried to put the whole school to the torch. I'm all one for building alliances, but I don't think Maximin should have invited him. The Third Estate doesn't need people like that. The woman grimaces. I haven't heard that part. What about you? You think it was right to invite Saint-Just? He's not an enemy. His willingness for violence lends your rhetoric weight. Of course it was. Saint-Just the most revolutionary among us. Bloodshed only begets bloodshed. France needs civil reform, not a civil war. Lends your rhetoric weight, though. It's requires an easy credibility challenge, so we might have to do something afterwards. What is this, though? Oh, it's exhaustion level. Maybe we want to say that bloodshed only begets bloodshed? A civil reform, not a civil war. He's not an enemy. Of course it was. We definitely... we don't want to be like, of course it was the best idea to invite him. But I think it's like, between these two, he's not an enemy. Is a good thing. His willingness for violence lends your rhetoric weight. He's a revolutionist, but maybe he goes a little bit too far. Maybe I could just say this and get away, out of this. But this does give us credibility. I'm going to go with what I'm going to say. I'm going to say bloodshed only begets bloodshed. Here we go. Quite right. The man agrees with you. There we go. I want to tip it back onto his side a bit. The estate's generally soon. And we need to stay focused on what's important. And we can all agree on. Taxing the nobility, engaging in land reform, beginning a constitutional monarchy. Agreed to a new harmonious France. His friend raises her wine glass and you toast together and drink deep of the red wine you obtained from a servant earlier. I love red wine. We got favor down or something. I'm not sure what that was. After your toast, you spend a few more minutes with these guests exchanging banter and political ruminations. Much of it is unfamiliar to you, but by the end of the conversation, you find yourself able to keep up pretty easily. Very nice. Favor down, credibility up. I don't have any favor, I don't think so. You have lost a little favour with Saint-Just. You'll meet him later. Oh, not good. Eventually, with the exchange of polite nods, you part ways. You earn to our friend not to explore the rest of the party. Alright. Oh, she's gone. Oh, so we really had to be careful with the... Oh, because this might be Saint-Just now, then. No, it's Maximin. Okay, it's the main guy. It's the guy whose party is. Out the corner of your eye, it's a tall, thin man dressed in somber, serious colours. The way people are clustered around him, you get the feeling that he's quite important. He glances up from his current conversation, politely excuses himself and approaches you. I must be Madame Decor. Oh, God. I'm not sure if Armand spoke of me, but I am Baron Maximin de Termes. Right as he focuses his attention on you, you feel everyone in the room watching you at the corners of their eye. His opinion must carry a great deal of weight. But please, let us dispense with titles. You may call me Maximin. The crowd chuckles, and you can't help but be surprised by its noble's informality. This would be downright scandalous in any other circle. The conversations in this various corners of the room die down as people strain to hear your exchange. It's great to meet all eyes on us. Great to meet the woman Armand spoke so much of. He said more about you than he did the state of the nation. And you know how much he loves that. Maximin smiles and offers a knowing wink. Now that I've seen you, I can see why he had such muddled priorities. Ooh la la. In fact, you may both find these useful. He grabs a jumbled stack of political pamphlets off his desk and hands them to you. Discourse moves rapidly, so rapidly after all. I would hate for the two of you to have trouble keeping up. A few voices murmur in approval. He pauses, his eyes sweeping the room for a moment. Please, I must trouble you with a question of my own. Okay, here we go. I've been told that Armand is unable to join us tonight. What has delayed him? I actually don't know. I'm sorry, he has taken ill. I think I would do this. We don't want to be like, I don't know anything. I am an idiot, right? He doesn't trust me with this information or something. And also, we don't want to insult the guy, right? So we'll make this up for now. I know it's a little white lie to get some credibility for sure. Oh, really? I must say I'm surprised that Armand thinks so highly of true revolutionary minds. Murmurs of appreciation and agreement ripple through the crowd, quickly hushed by other guests who are also pretending that they're not listening in. Of course, this gathering is more of a salon than a party, but I can see why you would be confused. He reaches out and pats your hand. Please don't be embarrassed. I'm sure Armand will be able to explain the differences later when he's feeling better. Oh, this guy's being a little dick. Unless, of course, he's not actually sick. It's been days since anyone's heard from Baron de Marbo. Originally, I take it as a blessing that we no longer had to deal with his ignorant and traitorous declarations. Oh my god, we're being attacked now. This guy looks like a Phoenix Wright villain now. However, now I find myself face to face with a fiancé who isn't just ignorant, but a liar. I don't know if that's just rolling the dice then, the credibility. Because it was an easy challenge or something. We went for it though. The crowd is no longer making a secret of observing they're gawking. I don't need your pamphlets to know you're being a presumptuous boor. Why invite Armand if you disliked him so? I invited your dullard fiancé in order to... Dude, You've got to change this. You have to be able to roll back a conversation in a visual novel. It's completely unacceptable. I'm sorry. It's like it's the first function you need in a game like this. I've missed that part of the conversation now, and it was very important, clearly. So we lost credibility. Maximum narrows his eyes until they're barely more than slits. In fact, you can practice this virtue now. Make sure that he hears this should you manage to find him. His wild and unseemly ideas make him an enemy of the revolution, an enemy of the common people of France, and an enemy of mine. The only thing he can do to atone for his miserable views is to take you and return to the backwards obscurity from whence he came. Wow, we've just been absolutely bodied. Maximum voice drops low to a growl, barely above a whisper. Before you speak, I already know what you're thinking, that somehow you don't deserve this. You are wrong. Our associations reflect our character, and you have chosen to associate yourself with a dangerous boor who drags at the heels of true progress in France. I can only assume that you are a craven opportunist who thought that marrying into a title would provide an easy path above her peers. That your life would be easy if you just found the right person to latch onto. Oh my god. Like a barnacle or a leech. He's killed us. You're a fool for believing that, and he's a fool for loving you. We're dead. We're just dead. Titles don't elevate us above consequences. Now leave my house and never return. Okay, where's the stab this guy button? Before you can reply, a valet grabs you roughly by the arm and drags you from the study. People like your loathsome host don't need to do their own dirty work. They have servants for it. It takes far longer than you'd like to get outside as the entryway is crowded with guests preparing to leave. You can feel their eyes weighing heavily on you. When you finally get to the door, you feel a brutish shove and you stumble out into the courtyard, barely keeping your balance on your heels. The air is equally crowded. You hear somebody snicker, but you have no idea who it was. That's some big talk about titles from a man who can't even do his own dirty work. Yeah. We want to just at least retaliate a little bit. Boiling over with anger, you turn and rain insults upon the house. In fact, you consider throwing your shoe through one of their windows before you remember how much you like that shoe. It's then that you notice that several of the carriages have stopped just to watch your display. I know it was like a bad thing to do, that we could have just kept calm and left and not made it worse, but honestly, it did make me mad. I want to shout back. Scanning the faces of your new audience, you see the glaring, unamused faces of the various party guests. You're certain that your hatred of Maximum, the revolution, and everything else he stands for is going to be well known throughout the city soon enough. Okay, so lost favor with the revolution, gained favor with the crown. You'll meet these people later. You grace the voyeurs with a haughty sneer before leaving towards your own carriage. However, when you arrive, your carriage is parked. You quickly find out that it isn't. It's gone. You check to make sure that you're in the right place, but to no avail, the carriage you hired is simply not there. He went home, a passing coachman says helpfully while adjusting the harness of a particularly grumpy horse. Dorman came out about an hour ago and told him he wanted the coach to leave without you. Seemed really important, so he went home. He can even respond. He gets his carriage moving, leaving you alone with another indignity. Going back to Maximum is obviously unacceptable. It's too far to walk. Most of the guests have already left. Alright, we're totally against these people now. The revolution can die. All hail the monarchy. We're going to burn this place to the ground. However, there appear to be 3, just not because we believe in, you know, the rights of the people or the rights of whatever. We hate this one person and we'll do whatever it takes to make his life a misery now. That's it. That's our goal in life. However, there appear to be 3 other carriages. We hold grudges very deeply. However, there appear to be 3 other carriages waiting, each of them quite different. Humble carriage, extravagant, or bold. Humble, we need to just get out of here. Carriage to your left is a foreign design and features a gilded crest as its only ornamentation. Never heard that word. Ornamentation. This crest is emblazoned with a motto in Latin. Appears to belong to a priest of some description. Curtains are drawn, but someone appears to have a lit lantern inside. Judging by the occupant's silhouette, looks like he's reading. You consider the humble carriage for a moment. Is this who you'd like to ride with? Of course it is. A priest will be willing to help a poor innocent woman like myself. Let's go. Settled in your decision, you set out. Entrust your fortune to a modest stranger. You reach out and knock on the door. The carriage silhouette figure jumps in surprise. We should be okay because we're not a kid. So we can go get the help of this person. If we were younger, maybe we wouldn't trust them. An unaccented voice calls out to you. Who is it? My name is Yvette Decay. I'm a common woman in need. I just got casketed by the host and thrown out. And you hear a sputter of barely suppressed laughter. He opens the door. Look at this. It's Jacob. Buonasera, castigated woman. I am Father Sidoti. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. How may I help you? May I trouble you for a ride home? Tricked into leaving without me? Yes. First time today you see someone look at you with genuine concern. How terrible. Please come aboard. It's no trouble at all. Puts down his book and waves you inside. Be honest with this guy. Totally honest with him. Inside the carriage is very similar to the outside. Simple but lovingly crafted. He sits across from you, his eyes darting between you and the small stack of books on the seat next to him. He signals the coachman by tapping on the ceiling of the carriage, and you head off towards Paris. He stares at you for a while and almost starts talking before thinking better of it. This process repeats a few times before he finally speaks. May I ask what happened? Parisians have a very different way of entertaining their party guests. I'm looking for a missing fiancé. Turns out it was held by one of his enemies. Okay. Let's do that. He raises eyebrows. What a worrying turn of events. A missing fiancé, sudden enemies, and now a missing carriage. Sounds like you've been beset by quite a number of misfortunes. I'm guessing then that you must be the one I've heard about. I'm sorry that our host felt it acceptable to treat you so poorly. Okay, so I get the impression that you're not from Paris. I'm not happy with what happened, but I'll be alright. Honestly, I feel terrible. I just hope this day ends. We don't think this guy's from Paris because he's nice, and everybody in Paris is a douchebag apparently. So let's talk to him. You're right. I was born and raised in Rome. We can tell. My family's about as traditional as it comes. So when my parents had 3 sons, they knew what to do with us immediately. 1 man of arms, 1 man of letters, and 1 man of the cloth. Okay. The seminary wasn't bad. It was the first time in my life that people were happy that I spent all my time reading. I was ordained a few years ago and shuffled around to help with various parishes in Rome. All the older priests liked me because I didn't talk too much. The faces are really funny sometimes. He blushes for a moment, stares out the window. Though that made holding mass a little difficult for me. A lot of awkward silences. A few months ago, I was pulled aside until I was sent to Paris. There's a lot of unrest here. My superiors in Rome wanted an outside opinion. He pauses for a moment to fiddle with his rosary. You see, sending a bishop or a cardinal here with all their retinue would arouse too much suspicion. It'd make people think something bad was going to happen. A single priest, nobody notices that. Yeah, you see, you send a pawn out and save your bishop. You send your pawn out to get taken and you attack with the bishop, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to bore you with my life story. I ramble when I'm nervous. It's fine. I thought it was interesting. Really? He coughs awkwardly. You are too kind, madam. Okay, we got some favor with the church. What about you? Are you alright? I'm not happy with what happened, but I'll be alright. That's true. Resilience is good. Just make sure to give yourself enough time to rest. Even the most minor of injuries can wear on the soul if left uncared for. Eventually, the conversation dies down. The adrenaline rush of the night's disasters and indignities giving way to simple exhaustion. He settles into his books and you occupy yourself while watching the scenery go by and trying not to fall asleep. Okay, we get there. He leans out of the carriage. Look at your home. I see you've chosen to live humbly. It's good for the soul, he muses aloud. Very humble, yeah. 3 floors. Look at all these rooms. It's massive. Very humble. Until we meet again, madam. He cheers cheerily from the carriage and drives off into the night. You realize that Camille is already waiting for you at the door. Most intriguing young priest. Hopefully I'll see him again. Your mind brimming with new possibilities, you step inside and head upstairs. Slowly you get undressed and open your journal to record exactly what transpired. We got boned. Like, we got totally screwed out of everything. Look at this. Wow. Wow. Continue. Novelty lost 90. Chapter 1, establishing oneself. I really thought that this demo would be over now. I told you this was going to be a lot of reading, but I honestly didn't even expect it to be this much. I thought it was going to be more decision-making and less reading, but we're already in it now. We're deep. We're up to his necks in this. You awaken the next morning in a bed that still feels unfamiliar. In the process of waking up, you start to recall the last night's humiliations. Wish they were merely the product of your pitiful dreams. Unable to go back to sleep, you spend some time tossing and turning. In bed before finally sitting up. Nothing's going to make last night go away. The only option is deciding what to do next. You feel exhausted. Not physically, but in your very soul. Like your fate in Paris has already been decided and that to remain here would be pointless. It would just be the humiliations of last night over and over again. No! No, we're going to fight back. However, stronger than that exhaustion is the simmering rage you feel at the outrageousness of your circumstances and the injustice of your treatment, and at the thought of going back to your tiny village after finally making it here to Paris. No, you must not go back. You cannot go back. Not while a single candle of your ambition still burns. Camille pops into your room, already dressed and ready for the day. Bonjour, madame, she beams. Looks like you're quite an active night. Is there anything I can get you? Okay, this is an interesting decision now. Because this is, please find me a spare pillow and smother me. That's like, share our concerns with Camille and that we feel bad, right? Some kind of refreshment, please, is just like, yeah, please just get me something. I want to feel better. Well, this is like joking almost, but once again sharing it with her, but a little bit more on the, it's a little bit darker. Find me a spare pillow and smother me. Let's bring her into it and kind of make some jokes about it, okay? Okay. I'm sorry, madam, the other cushions are all waiting to be washed. We can't have you end your life with a dirty pillow. It would be improper for a woman of yours. While you wait, I must insist on getting you something to drink. Going without would be healthy. Okay. Tea, please. I have to keep my wits about me if I'm going to regain people's trust. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Let's get some tea. Camille returns so quickly with the tea that you'll be certain she made it ahead of time. It's piping hot, fragrant, and not too bitter. You drink the brew in silence, the gears of your mind slowly getting up to speed. The tiredness fades, your anger does not. You've gained a little credibility. You take a few moments to finish your drink in silence and collect your thoughts. Something that keeps coming to mind is all the gossip you've heard during your time at the party. Most of it was idle prattle, but some of it felt scandalous and valuable. Without an inheritance or a job, you'll need a way to make some money. Maybe someone will be willing to buy this gossip. Is that a thing people do? Camille taps her chin thoughtfully. Well, when I was at Le Hall the other day, someone mentioned something about a newspaper with these amazing society pages. I think it was called La Trompette du Peuple. Now available to visit. They'd have to get the stories from somewhere. Why not you? In fact, I bet you'd be great at that, madam. Thank you, Camille. I think I'll do just that. What? With that, your day begins. All right. Surely we're not. The demo doesn't go to the end of March because that is just no way. Let's just go here. Visit location. We need some money. You walk through the city, following Camille's directions. Eventually, you find yourself threading through narrower and narrower streets. The alleys packed with refuse and occasional vagrant napping in the shade feel almost oppressive in their closeness. Suddenly, the alley opens up into a wider street near a square. You hear the splashing of a fountain nearby. You finally find the sign for La Trompette du Peuple. The paint appears to be fresh, but the office seems awfully small. The door is locked. You give it a knock. Nobody answers. You find a hastily written note lodged to the door frame. It reads, temporarily closed, engaging in emergency fundraising efforts. We apologize for the inconvenience. Fear not, this setback, the light of journalism shall never fade. Well, hopefully you don't live to see 2021. It's at the moment you realize the splashing in the fountain is getting louder, accompanied by some of the most inventive profanity you've ever heard. Against your better judgment, you decide to investigate. Aha! A reedy voice shouts triumphantly. You come upon a man in grubby finery, up to his knees in the fountain. His shoes have carefully been placed at the water's edge. He does a little jig as he drops a wet coin into his snuff box, which is clutched tightly. Oh my god, I did it. I clicked it again. I think we got to the end, but I clicked again. It's so bad. Noticing your presence, the man in the fountain turns to you with a nod. I have to like leave my hand off of my mouse. With a nod and a smile that attempts to be ingratiating. Bonjour, madam. Are you Pierre, the esteemed editor? Okay. He smiled, bro. We don't want to just be like, dude, is this how you're making money? He smiled bronze and the man bows. His manner suddenly as elegant as the finest courtiers of Versailles. Why, in fact, I am bon dame. My name is Pierre Ronaldo. Okay. Pronouncing these words is really fun, though. Trying, anyway. How may I be of service? I have some valuable information. Sell some gossip. Okay. Tutorial. Easier than you think. You just go here and you just click on stuff. It's just cheap. Fresh, relevant. Ah, okay. Sell it. What's peddle influence? Okay. If you peddle influence, I'll take the gossip for free, but you can use that effect to change the standing of a faction. Ooh. That's cool. However, right now you need money, so click sell gossip. £30. Sure. Wait. Okay. We're done. Go home. Thanks, dude, for your fountain money. Will take us 30 pesos and get out of here. You wake up the next morning to a polite knock on your bedroom's door frame. That was a full day. Everything you do is a full day. Camille enters carrying a small armload of letters. Madam, she starts confused and hesitant. There's a lot of letters for you here. Are they for me or are they for Anne? They're for you, madam. Every single one. Camille beams. These party invitations? Why would anyone invite me to a party? Well, madam, you're a little famous right now. Everyone's heard about your run-in with that dreadful party host a few days ago. How they preyed upon your honor and spirited away your carriage driver, leaving you trapped and alone. You don't think that's exactly how it happened, but decide against fretting over the details. Camille starts to talk faster and faster. Then, when all was lost, you were saved by a beautiful stranger who escorted you home in the moonlight night. So romantic, no? Oh, the rumors are already running rampant. Why? Just in the market the other day, I heard someone say that you've been taken a liking to. She stops, stares into space and blushes. Actually, never mind that. Never mind what? It's just rumors from the marketplace, madam. Nothing you should dignify. In any case, it's your chance to meet people in the city who don't hate you or Monsieur Armand. New party invitations, you can now receive them from all over Paris. Okay. In fact, I'm sure that anyone who really judges you fairly is going to love you. Thank you. Well, that's all well and good, but how does any of this work? Quite simple. You go to the witch. Congratulations on successfully finishing the demo. Oh, okay. Well, here we are. We sincerely hope that you enjoyed it. Well, let's talk about this for a little bit. Let me talk about this for a little bit. Okay. Turn this music down. Honestly, it's not what I expected. What I expected was a little bit more in terms of, you know, being able to backstab and stuff like that, a little bit more in that area, deciding what you want to do at a more rapid pace, right? Like, what do we want to say? Are we going to be snarky to this person? That was a very long introduction to the game, and I understand it's like somebody has ruined your honor, and now you've got to build your way back up and kind of get back at them. But that intro barely gave us a glimpse of the actual game, I feel. But it was a lot more reading than I thought, and a lot less decision making. I mean, we met him every now and then, and the decision making wasn't like completely like that one where he called us out for being a liar. I still don't understand how it worked. It said it was an easy challenge. I clicked it and it didn't work. And I think it didn't work specifically for the demo, like they'd programmed it to always go down this same path. But I don't know what a challenge is. The game didn't teach me that. Is it a dice roll or is it something we have to answer? Do we need certain favor with certain... It didn't teach us any of that. Like the actual underlying mechanics of the decisions making and how we can kind of use things in our favor, you know, command the kind of favor that we have. over people or on the knowledge we have. It didn't really show us how that works. It was really just make some decisions and maybe stuff happens. So I felt that the demo was a little bit lacking because it did kind of I feel like it did guide us down this path like automatically, and there was really nothing we can do about it, which means the decisions we made didn't really affect anything because, you know, even though in the main game they should. So it's a little bit weird. I don't think playing this demo really gave me the full experience I would have liked to have, you know, I had the full experience of the game as it will be. But, you know, that's not great. But also, I don't know, that's a lot. It was a lot of reading. And that's fine if you're looking for a visual novel. But the thing is, a lot of it was just introduction. We went into a bar looking for Armand, is not here. It's like, so the pacing is very, I mean, it's slow. That's all I'm trying to say. The pacing itself is very slow. It's not that, hey, you know, you came here and you couldn't find him and now you've been invited to a party, right? It's like you're gonna have to go through every single experience. You're gonna go talk to people in this bar. You're gonna ask where Armand is. You know what I mean? All of these like little beats are just so slow, like to get through. You're gonna have to be really interested in this as mechanically, I think. It's hard to say what I'm thinking because it's just such a unique experience as well. But do you remember I played a game called Sacred Fire, and that was constant decision making, and then you would read a bit, but it was constant decision making and rolling of dice and things like that, and a lot of things would be effective. And I think that demo played on that really well, on what's going to happen, what's going to change. You have full control, and this game just didn't give you the control that I think the game wants you to feel like you have. So we didn't really even get into it. And like I said, that didn't really like that. But then even if you do get into it, you still have to be interested in this theme, right? Like making your way through all of these fancy gals and stuff. And personally, I don't think I'm that interested in that. Sacred Fire was like, you're in a, you know, this is where you live in this castle, and you're in the middle of a war, and you go out and you find some troops heading towards the castle and trying to infiltrate secretly, and then you've got to run back and fight somebody, so that you can spread this information and save your town. And it was kind of like this, you know, it's exciting in that sense of you're in the middle of a war, right? But it's at the beginning, it's more like a bit of a cold war, like it's just information gathering, and then you're fighting for your life, and you've got to try and escape and save somebody else at your risk of your own, health to get information back to the castle. This one is just, it's so much more gossipy and like bitchy, you know what I mean? Like you're going to be like going behind people's backs, and I thought that'd be really fun, but because it's so slow, I don't know if it grabs me enough. Like if this was a lot faster and I could kind of be mean to people and stuff and get what I want, I think it'd be a lot of fun. But because it is like very slow and these beats, and it is very focused on building up this appearance, you know, over time through these fancy parties and these discussions of, oh, ha, 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 yes, I know all about Saint-Just and his violence. And I think it's too slow for me to like personally. It's very interesting though, and I think when people that it does click with are gonna love it. I just don't know if it's gonna click with many people. It's a very unique thing. But yeah, I would have really liked to have like quickly been in there and being like, oh yeah, you know, be a little bit catty, because that's what I feel like. Look at the picture even here of her face and the fan and the name Ambition, right? It feels like the game's gonna make you be like that, a little catty, I think is a great word for it, right? A little, like you're gonna get people in the back and get some information overhearing from people and use it against them, and you know, a little bit like that, and work your way to the top. But it's so slow that it doesn't feel like you're doing that. Actually, it feels like you're just going to parties, making an appearance. You're gonna be doing this over and over again, getting some information to sell. But I didn't really get to the interesting crux of it, you know. So hopefully it does get like that later on. But it was a very slow roll to even get through this demo. It was an hour, I think. So yeah, an hour. So well, thanks for watching. I'm gonna call it there. But yeah, my opinion on this is it's hard to put together because I'm all over the place. I like the concept, but maybe the demo doesn't show that very well. I like the concept, but I like it to be a little bit faster, or at least put me in that situation a little bit faster and give me more decisions. And maybe the game is like that, but we just don't know from the demo, which leaves me on the fence about it a little bit. That's what I'm trying to get across. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. You can check it out for yourself. Demo's still on Steam. Although it's pretty much going to be, maybe make some different decisions. See if the branching paths actually does work in this demo. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm going to assume that you can't go too far off because it wants you to follow down this path of being embarrassed and humiliated so that you get back at this person. I do feel like that's what it does on purpose to you, so that you want to get back in there and, you know, make a name for yourself. But try it. See what you find. Let me know in the comments if you do find anything, you know, that branches off from there. Anything interesting. See you next time.